All right, I need to say this to get this off my chest, right? Purple Moon, see the headphones right there. Still working on the album. I moved with my sister in 2016 because the way that life was life with me in Jersey, you know, the universe was maneuvering in ways that, covertly moved me south. So things had to happen because I wasn't gonna make the choice, right? I was gonna continue to work. I was gonna continue to try to make things work out, right? Um, my roommate, the person that I was working with, he had lost his mother. He came home drunk one night with his girl and started some problems with me, like literally woke me up out my sleep and trying to fight, arguing and shit like that. And I'm confused. You know, when you just get out the bed, you discombobulated a little bit. You don't know what the fuck going on, especially if you get, shook out of your sleep or scared out of your sleep, right? Long story short, we ended up in a little tussle outside, and I wasn't trying to fight him because I had had a conversation with my father, and he was always telling me you don't want to do nothing to get in trouble because that'll hinder your whatever you got going on in your situation, right? So I did everything I could to not get in trouble, to not get in no altercations, not get in no fights, not get in no arguments, right? And I carried myself as such. I made sure I carried myself as such. The people that was around me and the people that I held in my company knew as much, right? So when that altercation happened, and I decided to, you know, punch this motherfucker in his face because I'm not gonna let him continue to grapple me and shit, slam me on the not slam me on the ground, but we fell to the ground a couple times, right? Because he was trying to get my phone out of my hand and all this, that, and the third. It, it was just so confusing, and it was just so much that happened, and it didn't even happen quick, right? The way that it happened, it was like a progressive type of thing. Like he wanted me to fight him, like he wanted me to do something, and as soon as I punched him in his face, he backed off. And when he backed off, I turned because his girl was behind me, and at the end of the driveway, we was more closer to the door at the house portion of the driveway. So I didn't want to have nobody at my back. So as I turned around, I see her with her phone just like this. And police came. This is Princeton, New Jersey. Police came. They said I assaulted him. So I got locked up. And long story short, after that, me and my father, we had a conversation. He said, "Why you don't move to VA and you could stay with your sister? That way, the two of y'all could be together. Since it's only two of you, and he's in New York at the time. This is 2015 going to 2016, right? Because I stayed with my friend for like 6 months after that, and then I came down to Virginia in February 16th, 2016 is when I came down to VA. I remember it like it was last night because it was at night that I came, and my sister's girl had helped me with my bags, and like it was all so. It's like when something's too good to be true, and then it ends up just like that. That's exactly how it ended up, right? So I came, stayed with my sister, and I was supposed to be looking for a job. The plan was for me to go stay with my sister, get on my feet, get my own place, and get the fuck out of there. It wasn't supposed to be no shacking up, being roommates, this, that, and the third, helping out with the children, walking the children to school, walking to pick the children up, and not being able to work because calling themselves telling me that since I'm there, I gotta help them out. And the only help they was talking about was babysitting, which includes cooking and taking care of the children. Anybody that babysits, anybody that know about babysitting, you know what it all takes to be a babysitter. And I was still in my head like, all right, since this is how it's gonna be, I'm gonna look for a job at night, right? So boom, I got me a little evening job, but this was after, a couple months of me just going back and forth, walking the boys to school, walking to get the boys, cooking, cleaning, doing my part, whatever, little allowance that I get. I put that towards my phone bill, right? I was paying my phone bill. It was either it's me and my father, right? That's my only support system in the world, aside from the Most High, blessing my father to be able to bless me, right? Which is why I praise my father so much, because ever since we were small, we was little children, watching my father leave, and I never thought how it would affect my sister. But my sister, when I was working, this was when I was working at Kirby. This was after the night job that I got, and after I was staying with my girl, right? So boom, I get a call from my sister's girl saying that she in the hospital because she tried to kill herself. And I just started spazzing out because I already knew I was in the house. At first, I was outside looking in, right? My father didn't agree with their relationship because we didn't agree with that certain type of relationships in our culture, right? But my father didn't disown his daughter because of her choices. He just did what he could as a father, and he was there as a father, right? But he didn't overextend or overstep his boundaries. He allowed his daughter to do whatever the hell she wanted, just like when he told her, don't go to VA to go to college chasing after no boy. This was before she was with a girl, and before she had my nephew. And he told her, don't go chasing after no boy. She actually ends up leaving New Jersey to go to Virginia to go to school with her baby father, and they end up breaking up, and she ends up dropping out of school. She didn't end up finishing the school, which my father told her not to go to because there's so much schools in New Jersey you could go to. You want to go quite Virginia so you could run after our mind. And the way that my father says stuff, he doesn't have the nurturing part, because a little backstory on my father. My grandfather told my father that his mother was dead, and my father didn't find out that his mother was alive until he was at like older than 21 or older, is when my father found his mother, and he found that she was alive, and that put the only wedge in my father's relationship with his father that caused the rift that ultimately led up to how my father was with me, right? So it's a lot. Like it's so much, and none of this stuff that I'm telling y'all is like natural everyday stuff that people go through. This is magic shit, right? This is generations of curses, generations of bullshit that's been going on, but nobody ever had the gall or the belly to actually say, yo, this is some bullshit, and I'm not fucking dealing with this fucking shit. I'm calling this shit out. I'm letting this shit be known because I don't lie. I don't like to lie. I don't like to feel like I gotta tell somebody other than the truth. So I'm just gonna straight out say the truth, and however anybody feel, they feel that way. And if anybody ever wanted to fight me over what I said, I was always ready to fight over what the fuck I said. I would never say nothing behind nobody back that I wasn't gonna see them the next day and say, yeah, I said this and I said that, and I say it to their fucking face. So anyway, I spaz out on my sister's girl because I knew that it was her fault that that shit happened, because don't nobody just want to take themselves out. My sister never had those type of thoughts before. My sister never, you know, never gave that type of sign that she was so stressed out with life that she wanted to take hers. So when I heard that, I was in the car with my coworkers because we were selling Kirby. That's door-to-door sales. So it was me, probably two other people in the back seat, and the driver and the passenger, right? And I'm just like, I'm going off on her because I'm like, this is your fault. This is your fault because there's no way that she just come out of nowhere and just decides that she wants to do that. And the way that she was talking to me, the way that she was explaining it to me, which is why I started going off on her, she was explaining it like it was my sister's fault that all that shit happened, all the stress and all the bullshit, and that she wanted to take her own life. So what you're trying to do is you trying to get ahead of the problem so that whenever anything happened or anybody says anything, we don't look at you as the culprit. We look at my sister as the culprit, as she's crazy, or she needs to be this, or institutionalized, or whatever, or she needs therapy or whatever. Boom. My sister goes and gets a therapist, and she gets therapy for 1 fucking week, and then she figures out that she's all good and she's okay. And I'm saying this to say, because I have, like, anytime that I have anything on my mind, I'm documenting it, because I'm not gonna let this shit eat me up. I'm not gonna keep seeing this bitch in my fucking dreams. I'm not gonna keep seeing this fucking bitch in my thoughts. And the only way and the only time you will ever see anybody in your dreams or in your thoughts is when they're thinking about you, because I do not have time, energy, or the necessity to think about this fucking female, right? Because when I went to stay with my sister, I went for my sister, right? And the children. I didn't go to be friends or none of that, because me and my sister never had that brother-sister relationship. And y'all know this. Y'all know this from me talking on Facebook. Y'all know this from me talking on Instagram and Snapchat. Now I'm talking on YouTube. So it was never me, like, it wasn't a friendship type of shit, right? It was just, this is what it is. This is the situation. This is the deal. This is what we agreed on. And the agreement kept changing on their side. It kept fucking, like, it's like when you make a deal with the devil, right? You think that it's gonna be one way, and then it ends up being the other way. You say, okay, this is my last job, and I want out, right? And it's like, all right, yeah, this gonna be a last job. As soon as you do the last job, something come up, and then you got to do another job, right? And then it always ends up to where I end up losing time, and I end up sacrificing me to help them out. And it always ends up looking like I never do anything to help them out. I never done anything to make life easier for them, when I did everything to make life easier for them. And I know my nephews can actually attain to this stuff, because if they can remember back to when they were 3 years old, they would know. They would be able to tell you. They would be able to tell you. Like, I can't recall how many conversations I had with my father. It got so bad that my father would tell me, if you won't say nothing to her, or if you won't say nothing to them about it, don't tell me about it, because what you expect me to do, I'm gonna do the same thing you don't want to do about it, which is call Matik and talk to Matik about it. And then Matik is gonna do whatever Matik wants to do. Right? That's how the conversations started to go, after so long of me complaining to my father about the bullshit and the issues and the motherfucking problems that they had. Mental shit. So now, when it came to, me calling shit out, I was calling shit out from day one. I wasn't covering nothing up. The only mistake that I made was allowing my sister to use my father the way that my father was helping out, because my father didn't mind helping. And when somebody don't mind helping, the person that don't mind taking won't mind taking, and they won't mind taking more, even if it's just a little bit at a time, and asking for a little bit at a time, till it came to a point where my sister was staying home full time. My sister staying home. No need for you to stay. You a fucking citizen. I ain't a citizen. I can't fucking sit here and not fucking work. I'm trying to fucking get a job and pay y'all motherfuckers rent and this, that, and the third. And I can't even get a full-time job where I could make some decent fucking money, where I could pay y'all rent, my phone bill, my food, and try to get a fucking life for myself. Because I seen that. I seen the future from living in that present. And that present wasn't good. It wasn't a good present. No matter how you unwrap it, it wasn't a good fucking present. So I kept talking to my father. He kept saying, just relax, 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 while you living in a place where you're not comfortable, and the people that you're at the behest of their mercy, they're making it harder for you to be comfortable, purposefully making it harder for you to be comfortable. Anytime you find a little bit of joy, it's a problem. That's why when I started talking to my girl, all of a sudden my sister don't like her, because she tried to come on to my sister's girl, who's the person that introduced me to the fucking girl in the first place. So what the fuck is going on? Right? And when I was telling y'all, when it's somebody that you think is against you, Whole time it's the whole crew that's against you, and you looking for the one person that's at fault. Whole time you don't know it's the whole fucking clique that's at fault. And you will never know that it's the whole clique that's coming after your physical life until after you gone and you in the spirit world and you can see, damn, it was all of y'all motherfuckers and all of y'all sitting here at my funeral talking this shit, acting like y'all fucking care, and y'all set this shit up, carried this shit out, and still fucking acting, and everybody got their story straight. So when it came time for me calling shit out, we having Zoom calls, like pointless fucking Zoom calls, right? What the fuck is we having Zoom calls about when I'm talking to my family and I'm telling them in confidence, and then we having Zoom calls now, and my business is getting put out, and the stuff that I say getting put out, right? So basically, the truth getting put out. And when the truth gets put out, I'm still in the fucking house with these motherfuckers. And y'all don't know the shit that go on in the fucking house because y'all live in Trinidad, y'all live in New York, you live in Colorado, you don't know what the hell is going on, and you don't believe that I can actually, you don't believe what I'm saying because this is stuff that you just think that, oh no, it can't be, oh it can't, oh they can't be, oh it can't be. Just like when people talk about, like, oh they're so gullible to how so-called protected they are by God. They don't actually see that the fucking devil has been poking them in the ass for a bunch of years, and they're still saying we waiting on God, we waiting on God, right? It's not the people that's actually aware of the power of the devil, aware of the power of evil, aware of the actual capabilities of people who are so low and who are vibrating so low and who are feeling so low in themselves that it's easy for lower entities to now latch onto them, right? My sister tried to take her life. That's the lowest form of vibration that you can vibrate. That's taking your own life. It says in the Bible, thou shalt not kill. So even if you take your own life, you're committing the ultimate sin. That's the easiest way that an evil entity can latch onto you, right? And my sister never gave signs of being homosexual. She was always fucking with a nigga, always chasing after a nigga. And now she went to this all girls school, and she ends up being with somebody that stalked her and begged her to marry her, and actually outright said it. And the way that people say things, and to make you laugh, right? Just like Boondocks. That's a whole serious ass motherfucking show. But you could look at it, and everything that they do is making you laugh. But somebody like your grandfather or your grandmother, they'll watch that shit and they'll probably start crying because of all the shit that's happening in the show. They actually lived through it. They showing you fire trucks shooting at people, and they showing you Robert Freeman lying about actually being there. And then you got grandmothers and grandfathers that was actually in the streets getting eaten and torn apart by dogs, getting sprayed with fucking, I'm talking about, you see a power washer? You ever seen a fucking fire hose at full force? Okay, that takes your skin off of your fucking bones, right? And they could probably watch the Boondocks, but they'll start crying because they know they lived through all that torture and that trauma, and everything that they showing you as a comedy or a joke is actually real shit. That's how a lot of us is out here. We not watching that shit laughing. We not watching that shit like ha ha. It's just all fun and games. No, it's not all fun and games. That's why I could laugh and get a straight fucking face right after that because ain't shit sweet and ain't shit funny. So when you telling how you asked my sister to marry you 9 times, to me that sound like a motherfucker thirsty as hell, stalking somebody and begging them to be with them, because it's kind of it remind me a little bit of how I was going after my ex-wife, right? I pursued her the whole time, right? She never pursued me one time, but I was so blind because I didn't know that that's how they had it set up the whole time. So I was blind chasing after somebody that was running from me, pursuing somebody that want nothing to do with me. Whole time you had an agreement with the person that's dating my sister to tear apart my family because y'all see how good my family is, and her family is a piece of shit. She don't talk to her dad. She talks shit about her dad around me, around my sister. It got to a point when I said, yo, don't talk shit about your father around me. Like, I sat her down, like I took her under my wing, y'all. I took this girl under my wing. She had nobody. Her family, her brothers, her sisters, nobody was talking to her. She said she talked to her brothers sometimes. I never seen them. I never seen them. She only said that she talked to her brother sometimes to make me feel like somebody else is in her life, and to make me feel like maybe I got to compete to be the number one brother. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I took you under my wing because you was fucking looking sad and you looked like you needed help. But that's how a motherfucking devil gets into you. That's how a devil gets you to put the devil under your wing, and you feel like you got the devil under your wing. Whole time the devil is like, I'm sucking this nigga dry. I'm sucking this bitch dry. They don't even know that shit. They doing all this stuff to help me. They telling me all, they giving me free game. They giving me $1 million worth of game. They giving me $1 million worth of game for free 99. And I'm just sucking that shit out of them. And I don't give a fuck about that shit, right? Because at the same time that I was giving you advice is the same fucking time you was fucking sucking the fucking freedom out of my life. And y'all know what y'all was doing. And that shit still, it got me fucked up because I care about my sister. I love my fucking sister, right? I love them. I love them kids. I love them kids. I love those boys. Those children, me taking them to school, creating that bond, cooking for them, knowing their snacks. Like I used to tell them, if y'all want a snack and I say y'all can get a snack, don't go and ask your mom to get a snack because you know she's going to say no. So if your uncle already said you can get a snack, just go get the snack and go eat it. If your mom asks you, tell her you already asked uncle and he said yeah. Boom. Nah, they ain't getting told no. They can go and get a snack. I ain't telling them all the time they can get a snack, but you know when you mad, you don't want nobody else to be happy. And I noticed that off rip with my sister. So whenever she was in a bad mood, I would make sure that I take the kids outside. The children outside. I would make sure that I have them away from her because if they ask her anything or if they say anything to her, or if they need anything or want anything, it's gonna just be a whole shit storm in her screaming, cussing. I'm talking about 4-letter words and shit like that. Like the way that my father talked to me, y'all. And I tell y'all, my father called me everything in the motherfucking book and the son of God. But the way, like, I don't, it rubbed me so wrong because you watched our father do the same shit to me. And you gonna do it to your fucking children too in front of in my face. And my father didn't like that because he understood that at some point, my father stopped beating me. When I was 13 years old, my father stopped beating me. And that's when I stopped peeing the bed. I was 13 years old. I stopped peeing the bed. So you know how traumatizing that actually was to be able to release it, right? To release the trauma of feeling like my father's gonna be beating me for any little thing or any for whatever I did or didn't do. It don't matter what it is. I just looking out for an ass whooping, right? So now it's time for y'all to look out for y'all ass whooping because I'm not gonna keep my mouth shut. Them people's actually called me. They sent me an email, and I told them I don't have nothing to do with that family and that name. I told them I don't have nothing to do with the McNeils or that family because every single time I tried to get the truth out, this bitch tried to ruin my security, knowing that I don't have nowhere else to go, knowing that I don't have no other family in this country, knowing that I don't have no other family in this state. You put me in a predicament where, oh, if you don't like it, you could leave. You create this rule to make me feel like I'm some bad person that I can't, if I have a friend or if I'm conversating with. That's the thing, right? They don't want you to have no friends because if you have friends, people can actually tell you, yo, they're not treating you right. Yo, that's how you living. Yeah, I'm telling you, the dude that took me to the fucking motel when I got kicked out this last year, 4 days from today will be a year that I got put out of that house, right? But I left voluntarily, right? I left voluntarily because it ain't no way that I wasn't delivered from that evil place. Ain't no way I wasn't delivered from that place. I prayed night and day to have a fucking way to get the fuck out of that goddamn house. I prayed night and day to have a fucking way to get away from that goddamn marriage. I regretted that marriage. My father told me, wait, don't get married. Don't marry that girl. Because I told him how she was putting her hands on me. And I didn't like that shit. My father didn't like that shit. Because my father taught me not to hit women. My father taught me not to put my hands on women. My father had to put his hands on his girlfriend one time. I was about 6, 7, 8 years old. They came home. She was drunk as fuck, smacking my dad in his head, calling him bald, this all type of names, and she's just keeps smacking him in his head, and all I hear is doom, doom, doom. He had her 3 thumps in her back. We was in Trinidad. He had her 3 thumps in her back, and that was it. She ain't never put hands on him again. I never like I probably should have did that shit. Right? But I didn't want to let my anger get the best of me. And I felt like if I let my anger get the best of me, first off, I would calm her down and she would just start to fuck right back up. Like, you know when somebody says, oh, I'm not gonna hit you, I'm not gonna hit you, and then they end up hitting you. That's exactly what the fuck happened, right? So every little argument, me talking about my feelings, me talking about her feelings, me talking about her attitude and her actions, me talking about my attitude and my actions, always led to her wanting to throw shit, throw hands, and fight. It was just not something that I could see myself being in for long term. I wanted to have children with her. I used to beg her to have children, and it got to a point where I said, I don't think I want to ever have children with you, because if I'm gonna have a daughter as my first child, I'm not gonna have a daughter that's gonna be abusive, that's gonna be neglectful, that's gonna be so fucking outright irate. If a man tells a woman that he wants to have a family with, that he does not want to have a child with that woman because he is afraid that that child is gonna turn out like that woman, you got a question about that woman. You don't ask no question about no man. Because any man that wants a family, any man that wants children, that's the man that you want around. Any man that's willing to learn how to fix something, any man that's willing to learn how to cook. I can cook, clean, go hunting, go work, do this, do that, clean the house, do every fucking thing, and still take care of the kids, still take care of the children, still take care of the household. My father, I watched my father do it. So I know I could do it. I've been doing it. I've been did it. Did it so long that it was just sucked out of me. And when it's sucked out of you and there's nothing that's given to you to be replenished, you end up empty, like the people that's homeless on the streets, and you ask them why they're homeless and they say they did for everybody. They was doing for everybody. They was given to everybody. But you ain't never hear them say people was given or a couple people gave back. Nah. The only person that I talk about now, other than my father, is my big homie. And I always talk about my big homie. I'm going to praise that motherfucker till he dead. I don't give a fuck. I praise God, but I will praise my big homie till he dead, because he gave me a place to stay when my own father told me I couldn't live with him. And he taught me you can't be getting mad at shit you can't control. And this is before I came down to VA. So I knew all of this stuff before I even went into that hell house. I knew all this stuff before I even went with that person. Her family are criminals. She's a criminal. She's a fucking criminal. And that's just gonna catch up to her. Karma's gonna catch up to her. Because you don't fuck up people's families, and you definitely don't fuck my family up. Me speaking now is probably alerting the spirits and the spirit world to release whatever hold or protection that my prayers have put over y'all or put over you. My sister might be spared because she's my mother's daughter. She's my mother's child. I praise my mother. Y'all know how I feel about my mother. That nigga that I choked down the fucking staircase in school, when he talks shit about my mother, know how I feel about my mother. Why you think nobody ever talked about my fucking mother after that? You think y'all talk shit about each other mother, and none of y'all don't ever fight for y'all fucking mothers. Don't fucking talk shit about my fucking mother. I will send her for your ass. You will meet her. I don't play games when it comes to women. And I don't play when it comes to my mother. And I don't play when it fucking come to my sister. I never played when it came to my sister. My sister even made me feel like shit defending her. I even forgot what the fuck happened. I just thought about protecting and defending my sister, and she had the nerve to tell me some shit in front of the motherfuckers that I was defending you from. You don't never fucking tell me shit in front of nobody that's a fucking stranger to you and me. You don't never do that. You wait until them motherfuckers leave. You cooking for these motherfuckers and shit, and then you telling me something in front of them? Nah, nah. How many times you done cooked 20 plates and give away for free talking about you don't got food in the house? How many times you done cook and given away 19, 18, 20 plates, and you telling me I can't start up my cooking, my little snack company so I can make a little bit of money so I don't have to be stressing and dependent on y'all. You wanted me to have to depend on y'all. You wanted me to have to be in that situation. You took advantage of my situation. You took advantage of me. And you're supposed to be the blood of me. You sat in the womb and kept it warm until I came in the womb. We womb mates. And you gonna turn on me when I gave up everything just to come live with you and make life easier for you? I made life easier for you. Me, not God. God sent me to make life easier for you. You wanna fake go to church in the fucking bedroom that you having fornication and all this fucking type of shit in? After you hear how I'm talking about God and you hear how I'm preaching on the internet, now you want to act like you holier than thou. Yo, cussing at the children in the same fucking room you praying to the Most High, and that's crazy. That's why I never agreed with my aunt when she had church in the fucking house, because you don't have church in the same place you doing all this, that, and the third in. I say if the pastor don't live in the church, that ain't no fucking preacher to me. If the pastor making money, that ain't no preacher to me. I don't care who he is. If that nigga making money in the name of God, he ain't no preacher to me. Money is a tool to me. I would use money to throw parties for children and have a fucking Six Flags dedicated to children and only open that motherfucker and invite the children, invite the families, and then when the children done having their shit, they go hang. We got people that's gonna be, the professional babysitters. They got the food, the snack sections. They got the little sleepover section. They got the outside movie theater, inside movie theater, however we want to do it. And then the parents, we can go and we can have our own adult party, just like how we used to in the days. You bring over, you go, your child having a party, you invite 5, 10 families over, the children outside playing. When the party done, the children inside, the adults go outside. Now the adults outside partying and drinking and having fun. When we went to the pool party and the children was done with the pool in the daytime, we looked outside the window. The adults was doing backflips, somersaults, all this type of shit in a little ass pool. It was big to us, but it was small to them. Like now that I'm this age, it's like, damn, that was a little ass pool. But the children already had their party, had their fun. Now it's time for the adults to have their fun in their party. We watched y'all the whole day. Go in y'all bed. Go in y'all bed. Time for the adults to party. And we party till fucking how whatever time. It don't matter. But that's what I would do with money. I would change the world with money. I would ride around and go into neighborhoods and see buildings that I could buy. And I always tell myself, yo, I'm calling Dane up. Hey, yo, Dane, I got this, I got that. I need you, brother. That's it. Because that's the only person that I see on the internet that I could see in person that I could trust. Because he ain't doing it for money. He actually taking it out of his own pocket to get that shit, to show motherfuckers the truth. Getting sued and winning that shit. Motherfuckers trying to take him to court and he winning that shit. Taking motherfuckers under his belt. The historian champ. My boy Dane Calloway, the Great Bear. I call him the Great Bear because he a big dude. He like 7 feet tall. But yeah, I respect him because he's a family man too. I respect Kalai because he's a family man too. I respect Rashad because he's a family man too. I respect Free Soul because he's a family man too. I respect these artists because they family oriented. Like how we always been. It ain't like how we was, nigga. It ain't no was. I'm still here, so it's how we always been. If I'm talking this talk and I'm walking this walk, you see me fucking walking and talking, then we still here. I'm glad I got that off my chest because I don't have no therapist. I'm my therapist. right? I don't got no dental insurance, so I don't give a fuck how y'all niggas talk about my teeth. I had my teeth chipped since I was a fucking little sprat, going to fucking school, acting like a fool with my friend, and now our teeth clash together and fucking chip my shit. You can open beer bottles off the boy chip tooth. What Jay-Z say about Nas? You can open beer cans off the boy chip tooth. I don't care. I got a crooked smile. I mean, it's not it's a chip smile. It ain't crooked, but it's imperfect. I'm imperfectly perfect. Is the way that I was made. And I was made to be this way so you could fucking talk about, oh, that nigga's a stray, a bum. Yeah. They said the same thing about Jesus. Now look, y'all still talking about Jesus. So who you think your great grandchildren gonna be talking about when we no longer here and we can meet in the spirit world where it ain't no going to jail or no spilling blood. We can see who's really heavyweight. I could wait on that. I got patience. We'll meet in the spirit world where it ain't no holds bar. You want to go all evil? I'll go all light. We'll see who win. I'll even be able to go all evil and demolish your evil ass. But this is the karmic time. I told y'all this is the new Eden. This is the era of Eve. Welcome to the evening. I love y'all. And I'm going to keep preaching my word. I don't be going into the Bible and looking for scriptures when I be typing my stuff. I'm writing my own book. The book of McLeish.